So the Dijonai Carrington Nelissa Smith situation has just made kind of everything messy when it comes to discourse between the Fever. I think the reason why the Fever fans have turned on Nelissa Smith, other than her poor play, like poor play, it is what it is. Criticism, it is what it is. Because it's like, as bad as Christy Wallace has been, no one really turned on Christy Wallace as a person. As bad as Erica Wheeler has been, no one's really turned Erica Wheeler as a person. It is just this, because I'm going to put this out here. Nelissa Smith, for all we've seen, is a very good person. You can see that with her relationships with teammates. You can see that with some of the stuff. But like, this is what happened. Obviously, after losing the playoffs, and look, I'm not going to hold it against. If Caitlin Clark at any stage says walks past and doesn't sign autographs, I'm not going to hold it against her. She has probably spent a collective or more time than any other player in the WNBA over the course of this season signing autographs. So if after get knocked out of playoffs, she decides not to, I don't care. But, so these fans are waiting for Caitlin. She walks in, she walks by, and it's like, I'm cool. If a player doesn't want to after a loss, I'm not going to knock them for it. But look who stays. Look who stays to sign some autographs for kids. Nelissa Smith. And that's the thing, is like, she's just had a loss in the playoffs for the first time in the playoffs. She probably knows this is her last day game ever playing for the Indiana Fever. And she can still see that there are fans there waiting for her autograph. That it's not just the people on the internet. There's not just people that dislike her from the Fever fan base. And she's taking pictures. She's there taking pictures after the game with Fever fans. So it's like signing a Caitlin Clark basketball. So the reality of it is that, look, these fans at the stadium, 99% of them is good for the game. 99% are going to still support her. And you can see with some of the stuff, like, that she is a good person. So I'm not going to knock Nelissa Smith as a person. I think she's been terrible for a lot of the season. I'm not going to knock Nelissa Smith as a person. But Dijonai Carrington, straight away, free her. Like, she tweets out, free her. And look, I don't even care. I'm just going to guess. Free her is going to be a lot in Nelissa Smith posts. Free her. She's been so poised for all disrespect. I love her. Free her. Stay being CC 2-woman game. Like, free her. She's cooking for the Valkyries next year. I just want y'all to know you don't go number 2 in the draft for nothing. Who went? Diamond Miller went number 2 in a draft, by the way. If you want to free Nalyssa, her price is your favorite team's 2027 first round. Put your picks where your mouth is. Very fair. Very fair. But that's the difference, where it's like they're not the first couples to compete, and that's where it kind of is. Not it's where it's an issue, where it's like where the talking point is that I do think a lot of fans, are NBA fans, where this obviously doesn't happen, and. Like, I'll also say it, like, I don't see it being that different than sisters playing against each other. Like, I don't see it as the biggest deal in the world. But at the same time, like, you've got Dijonai, who is a shitster. There's no other way to say this, and that's where the issue is. I don't think the issue is with Nelissa Smith dating someone on their team. Like, I have no idea of the relationship status of the team, of the players of the Fever. I actually don't care about it. I really don't care. There could be other players doing the same. I actually don't care. At the end of the day, the only thing that matters is what happens in those 40 minutes. But the problem is, between the relationship between Nelissa Smith and the fans, is you've got, and I think as much as it happened with Dijonai, whatever about the tweet that Dijonai sent about Caitlin Clark needing to speak up, the fact that she tweeted that while in the stand of the game, and then Caitlin Clark just looked shook. It was just, not that it was a bad look on Nelissa Smith. That was why the fans kind of turned on Dijonai, is that it seemed from day one that Dijonai was trying to not necessarily sabotage Nelissa Smith, but it looked like she was trying to sabotage the team. And then what happened then was every single thing Nelissa Smith did was put under the microscope. Nelissa Smith, as soon as the Valkyries colours were announced, going to Paige Beckers, being like, oh, we look great in purple. Basically her going like, I want to be a Valkyrie, which is I do think that was a dumb thing that was said. And then Nelissa Smith came out today and said, now that I can speak on it, talking about Dijonai, and everyone being like, oh, the Indiana Fever like aren't letting these players speak up, and it's like, no, I think the Indiana Fever actually have a competent like social media presence where it's like, not even social media presence, but it's like they've got their team on the one page together, especially during the season, being like, look, for the greater good, we just have to just do our own thing. Nothing that happens outside this locker room matters. We just got to go and play. We just got to be together. We just got to be a team. And it's very clear that the Fever did a good job of that. But it's also like a situation where when it comes to Dijonai and Nelissa Smith, that you can ignore social media by logging off your social media. You can't ignore social media when your girlfriend is Dijonai Carrington and she's got the biggest Twitter fingers. I think she can deal with the crap. I don't think anyone should have to deal with it, but I think she can a lot better than Nalyssa can. And there's no way for her to ignoring it, especially because her brother's got Twitter fingers as well. I'm going to talk about that a little bit later, but her brother literally was calling out players in the Fever. Like, it's just not a good look. And look, the reality of the situation is that it's an entire mess that isn't really messy if it wasn't for the whole social media craziness. The whole social media craziness has just been wild. Has just been absolutely wild. And I just don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know what's just all around what's what the future is for Nelissa Smith, but I hope it's outside Indiana for her own sake, for the Fever's sake. And yeah, ideally playing on the same team would be fine. I just hope Nelissa Smith's in a better situation, because no one should have to deal with the crap that she has to deal with. At the same time, she's playing really badly. She has more ability than she's shown, but we can be honest and say she's been terrible. But a lot of the narratives of like she's trying to sabotage the Fever, all this other stuff that's going on, like she doesn't care, she'll be celebrating with the sun tonight, and it's like, maybe that is true, maybe it's not, but the whole situation is that of all the players in the Fever that's probably gotten the worst of it in social media, actually no, Christy Wallace got the worst of it. Let's be real, Christy Wallace by far got the worst of it. Nelissa Smith after Christy Wallace probably has got the worst of it, and yeah, she's gotta, for her own sake, for the Fever's sake, it's gonna be a sad one, because I do think Nelissa Smith is a good person. I just think she's a bad fit, and I think she played badly this year. But the Dijonai stuff doesn't help. Like, the Dijonai stuff does not help at all. And I think it's an awkward situation when it came to the social media stuff, because they didn't join the Lakers. Like, the Fever is like the Lakers. Like, if you are, like, will you see the way D'Angelo Russell gets called out? Like, the stuff that D'Angelo Russell has to deal with, Austin Reeves if he misses a big shot. Like, back in the day, what Kevin Love had to deal with the Cavs. It's like, if you're on that, like, if you're at the huge market team, unfortunately, you're going to get worse stuff on social media. And I think that already was going to happen to players when they play badly. Just like when Caitlin Clark plays badly, she probably gets hit on social media worse than anyone else. The only difference is that you had Dijonai. Like, there's already a firestorm on social media with this team suddenly becoming the biggest market in the WNBA, and then there was Dijonai throwing petrol on the fire, and now ending the season by saying FreeHer. Just let her. Just end it there. If you think you can get a trade for her, keep her and trade her. If you can't get anything, don't protect her and let her go to the Valkyries in the expansion.